Well, the Cowboys entered Week 4 with what many were calling the biggest test of their season so far. Heading down to the Saints in New Orleans would be anything but easy down in the Big Easy. And the high-powered offense and its capabilities really came into question this week as players began to trickle onto the injury report. The Saints have won 9 of the last 12 meetings between the two teams, but it's actually last year's game against the Saints when the Cowboys won 13-10 that this defense says they realized how good they really could be.
The determination, the intensity, that we can beat anybody.
We keep going, that's what we need to do.
Not only match what we've done in the past, make football bigger than life.
They are the Dallas Cowboys, America's team.
Here we go.
Yeah, we just have to play better, and we just have to play better throughout our whole team. We don't go back and kind of make these big evaluations. Where are we at Week 3? It's like let's come to work and clean up what happened yesterday in the game, and build on what was good, and obviously identify the things that aren't up to standard.
For the Saints and Cowboys, the preparation for one another may actually be somewhat similar. Both teams will hope to contain the opposing offense and their weapons. The Cowboys have recorded 400 yards of offense and 30 points in 4 straight regular season games dating back to 2018, the longest such streak in team history.
Again, last year is last year. They challenge you a ton of different ways, and we're going to do everything we can to play our best football this week against this team. So we're going to get to work today, and hopefully we'll start that process the right way.
They're coming off a game with not 1, but 2 100-yard rushers. The Saints have given Alvin Kamara more of a role in the backfield and anywhere else he wants to be.
He's been a featured player for him since he's gotten there, and again, he's been able to do whatever you could ask a running back to do right from the start. So he's a great player. He's hard to tackle. He's very elusive. Great quickness, speed, explosiveness, and he's hard to bring down. He's dynamic with the ball in his hands.
Just getting started here on Cowboys Insider. Next up, we introduce you to Alex Loomis, Director of Pro Scouting here at the Cowboys, and his family tie to the New Orleans Saints. How he and his father, Mickey Loomis, General Manager for the Saints, balance their work, their relationship, and competition.
Cowboys Insider is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys. AT&T, more for your thing. That's our thing. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full access to coaches' film and game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl. Subscribe at DallasCowboys.com/Game Pass. This segment is brought to you by the Dallas Morning News. Nobody does sports like Sports Day. Your home for complete Dallas Cowboys coverage.
Everyone knows that working for an NFL team means working long days and nights, even beyond the boundaries of an August to February football season. And for Director of Pro Scouting Alex Loomis, this regular Wednesday in season is filled with watching practice, studying tapes of other teams, and keeping tabs on players around the league.
I organize and oversee the entire pro scouting process.
Scouts are some of the hardest working groups in the entire National Football League, working and traveling year-round.
Contributing to the advance reports on a weekly basis, evaluating practice squad players for other teams, going out to practice and constantly evaluating our own team, and travel for the advance reports, like going to see other teams play during the week.
Alex Loomis is no stranger to this life of a scout. In fact, he was literally born into it. He's the son of Mickey Loomis, general manager of the New Orleans Saints. Alex's father, Mickey, spent 15 years in the Seattle Seahawks organization, where he was when Alex was born. Mickey joined the Saints organization in 2000 and became the general manager in 2002. The imprint of his father came early on in his life, so much that Alex doesn't remember ever wanting to do anything else.
I remember in like 4th or 5th grade, you have to do a report of what you want to be when you grow up. Well, most kids in school are, I want to be a doctor, or I want to be a lawyer. Well, I wanted to be a pro scout in the NFL. Well, my teacher at the time was like, well, you can't do that because nobody really knows what to do, how to get there. So I had to be a sports agent.
The Loomis lifestyle isn't too far off from that of head coach Jason Garrett. Garrett's late father, Jim Garrett, was a longtime NFL scout and assistant coach.
When you're growing up, people always ask me what my favorite teams were, whether the Giants, the Saints, and the Browns, because those are the teams my dad coached for. And you change overnight. You change immediately.
Both Jason Garrett and Alex were destined for football and wouldn't have it any other way.
We just loved it. We couldn't get enough of it. Just to be around it, to talk ball, to listen to him talk about the team that he was coaching, or we'd go to the games, we'd get there early, we'd stay late, the whole thing. And I know Loom grew up the same way.
Nothing runs thicker than blood, but Alex says he and his father, who helped build the Saints roster and get them a Super Bowl in 2009, talk more big picture than the nitty-gritty details of their teams.
We talk a lot about conceptual things or things going on in the NFL, but with our own teams, we try to separate that if we can. Obviously there's some things that cross together, but overall we kind of keep that separate.
The Loomis family runs deep in the NFL. Even Alex's sister Catherine works for the Chicago Bears. But the nature of the National Football League is to win, and that's all that matters. Things could get a little sticky when you try to balance family with football, especially when striving for success in different ways on this particular Sunday.
It's blood, and every week we root for each other's teams to have success, but obviously when you play each other, that kind of goes out the window, and we have a fun family rivalry with that.
I know he has some challenges going against his dad. This week I know his sister was with the Bears, and so you have all these different affiliations, but ultimately you just want to go out there and do your best, and you hope it goes well for everybody. And then when you go against each other, you want your mom to sit in the stands, right in the end zone, and not pick a side.
When the lights come on and the noise starts to build, Alex knows he'll have to take a moment to soak it all in.
I wouldn't say it's not like mixed emotions, but it's now that I've been here for so long that it's not as weird as it was when I first started. But it's exciting. We're competitive, so it's nice when we can beat them, because you get bragging rights for the year. So
Loomis and his father keep a record of their score against each other. Alex with the Cowboys is 3-4 and has a chance to even it up this Sunday. But he's a quiet, focused type of man. He'll know his place in the Saints box this weekend when he sits with his family at the game. But make no mistake, even if he does it quietly, he'll be standing tall for the Cowboys.
I'll be suddenly cheering. I know they're upset every time we score, because they want the Saints to do well, but I'll be cheering us on in my own subtle way.
The noise in the Superdome is heating up. The Cowboys defense breaks down why the Saints are still tough without one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history. Next.
This segment was brought to you by the Dallas Morning News. Nobody does sports like Sports Day. Your home for complete Dallas Cowboys coverage. This segment is brought to you by DraftKings. Play for the biggest prizes in fantasy sports on DraftKings. Use promo code COWBOYS.
Drew Brees, one of the most decorated quarterbacks in NFL history, obviously out for this one against the Cowboys.
not different per se without Breeze in there. They're still going to run their stuff.
But Breeze being injured hasn't brought down the hype of this game one bit. In fact, the Cowboys are turning it up. Dallas spent their practice week simulating the Superdome with blasting speakers to ruin the offense's communication, getting them ready for exactly what they're going to face. But just 1 year ago, on the big stage of Thursday Night Football, the Cowboys got the last laugh against the Saints.
Breeze back under pressure, the ball's intercepted! Jordan Lewis at the 22! Jordan Lewis intercepted Drew Brees and returned the ball to the 17! The first Cowboy takeaway of the night!
Many players are saying that game and that win was the turning point for this defense.
That game meant a lot to us, going up against an undefeated team, and being able to break their will and show this is a game of toughness. And, you got to have that mentality for 60 minutes straight and to go out and demonstrate that. And, a whole group of guys to go out and demonstrate that, it was big for our team.
It may go down as one of Jordan Lewis's favorite games in his career for obvious reasons.
Just understanding where Coach wants me to be. He gave me opportunity, play some more, and I feel like, I did a pretty good job. So, it's a new year. You got to understand that, and I just got to continue to prepare.
And preparation is key when dealing with an elusive threat like Alvin Kamara.
He's a guy that can make every cut. He can make every route. He's consistent, and that's just what you see in a player that's had another year to really grow. And for us, it's just about being on our keys.
In last week's matchup against the Seahawks, Kamara had 161 total yards from scrimmage and 2 touchdowns. He carried the ball 16 times for 69 yards with a score and caught 9 passes for 92 yards with another.
A different guy. He's very talented. You got to stop that.
He's a fast back. He's somebody you got to control. He's similar to Saquon. Very tough guy to bring down. So you got to be smart when you're rushing from the backside or trying to chase down the run. You can't let him loop back across your face. That can hurt us bad. So we just got to focus on bringing him down at the point of contact.
Kamara's speed isn't the only reason he's dangerous. It's his ability to appear anywhere on the field at any given moment. The theme for Dallas's defense this week has been tackling.
Eyes on him, stay disciplined, and tackle. I said the guy is really good at breaking tackles. Again, he's strong, he has power, he's elusive, he's got speed. So he's the total package.
It's a challenge. It's a challenge. You have to understand, where your help is for sure, and then from there, it's giving it all you got. It's going to take every effort, every foot, every grab, every tussle. Whenever you're playing against a great running back.
Kid to stop Kamara, hit him. Wrap up, tackle.
Great football player, just off the charts in every facet of the game. He's a really, really good runner. He can run inside, he can run outside. He's an outstanding receiver. Out of the backfield, they line him up in different spots. He can run routes from anywhere. He's great with the ball after he catches it. He's just dynamic.
Just when he's out in space, man, he can break so many tackles, and he's very elusive. His balance is, second to none, honestly. And I feel like he's one of the most, one of the premier players in this league. And it's definitely always a challenge when you got him in space and trying to get him down. So I feel like that's going to be a big challenge for us this year.
Just as the Cowboys' defense is preparing for big-time run threats, the Saints are doing the same for 21. And no one knows the danger of Ezekiel Elliott better than a former Ohio State teammate and safety for the Saints, Von Bell.
It starts with 21. We got to stop the run and eliminate the explosive passes off of it because Dak is doing a real good job finding guys down the field and they're making plays for him. So we got to stop the run and make everything just one-dimensional. Just get out the field on third down and eliminate the efficiency on first and second down so it won't be a breeze on third down. So we just got to know the situation and eliminate it.
And another challenge for this Cowboys defense focused on containing quarterback Teddy Bridgewater.
This offense has had success for a reason, and they're able to, call plays and do things that whoever's in there does well, and they love for us to just play to our strengths. And so this past week, we were able to do some things that I'm comfortable doing, and we had success and we came away with the win.
Bridgewater is an accomplished quarterback in this league, so We have the utmost respect for him as a player and, again, what he's going to be able to do for them out there on the field.
Last week, New Orleans offense put up 33 points on the road in a tough Seattle environment. Bridgewater only has one official start this season, but the Cowboys aren't taking his label of the backup to heart.
The guy playing quarterback for him has been a really good player in this league for a long time. Was a high pick. He's been a starter, so I think they have a real confidence in him to be able to do anything they want to do.
Bridgewater, he's shown that he's a very, capable, passer. He put up great numbers, Pro Bowl quarterback, stuff like that.
First-round guy out of Louisville, a guy that can make the throws. He can use his feet, and he's a pro.
And for a rookie run stopper who got his first start against the Dolphins, going to the Superdome for Sunday Night Football could be daunting. That's why Tristan Hill is just choosing to keep it simple.
I think it's not so much about what they do. I think it's more about what we do. Everybody puts their pants on one leg at a time, and that's what we're going to continue to focus on.
Coming up next on Cowboys Insider. Can the Cowboys keep the heat coming in New Orleans? More after this.
This segment was brought to you by DraftKings. Play for the biggest prizes in fantasy sports on DraftKings. Use promo code COWBOYS. This segment is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, there's no question. It's a loud environment. It's been a loud environment for a long, long time. And the fans are really into football down there. And, if they give them reason to cheer, they'll get behind their team.
Big night tonight. That's what it's all about. These environments right here. Yes, sir! Let's go. It's that we live for. Hell yeah. How can somebody not believe in God when they see this, bro? Stick together, trust one another, feed off one another, fellas. He eats, we eat.
Bridgewater out of the gun, 3rd and 13. Bridgewater being chased, rolling to his right. Bridgewater fires high. It is intercepted by the Cowboys.
Gotta get those. Keep it.
Man rush, Prescott pumps, Prescott scrambles. He's got the snap. Bridgewater is buried. Robert Quinn.
Hey, keep pushing the pocket. He just wants to get out. You know what I'm saying? Keep him in there.
You were like way down there. Like you a real cobra, bro. Like bro ain't got no bones in the ankle. Watch you see the film. Bro, you that boy.
No, I'm not.
You that boy.
That's the guy. Part of a team.
Prescott wires it over the middle, caught by Witten. Turning upfield, he lost the football. 4th and 1, here they go. Handoff Elliott, burrowing up the middle.
They're signaling they have the fumble, Ted.
Does New Orleans have the ball?
Be ready.
Prescott with the play fake. Dak wires it over the middle, caught in stride. Blake Jarwin, I formation, give it to Elliott. He's digging up the middle. He's across. Touchdown, Dallas.
Keep grinding these guys, baby. Keep grinding.
Cowboys looking to get a sack.
Big play right here.
Bridgewater, straight drop, 4-man rush. Bridgewater goes down, back near midfield.
Hey, let's go! Yeah!
Here we go. Here's the game. Final play. Prescott hit as he throws, drills it deep, right side, bobbled and intercepted. And the Saints have won it. The Saints put the clamps on Dallas tonight. 12-10 the final.
This segment was brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys Insider was brought to you by AT&T. More for your thing. That's our thing. Academy Sports and Outdoors, the official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys, and by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full access to coaches' film and game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl. Subscribe at DallasCowboys.com/Game Pass.
Yeah, obviously defense did a really good job in this game, particularly down in the red zone. You know, they had some opportunities where they moved the ball, but we did a good job, you know, creating some negative plays and just keeping them out of the end zone when they got down in there close. I thought we did some good things offensively, but certainly not good enough.
Despite holding their opponents out of the end zone for the second week in a row, allowing 0 touchdowns were not enough for the Dallas defense.
Between the run game, the pass game, we just couldn't get it going early. We finally got a drive in the second half, but when you're playing in an atmosphere like this, when you're playing a good team and a good defense like that, that's too late. So got to convert on the first scoring drive that we had. Got to make that pass in the back of the end zone to Cobb. We just left a lot of plays out there tonight, and it showed.
Dallas takes its first loss of the season just as the schedule starts to heat up. October brings the Packers and the Eagles before the Cowboys have their bye week. And they didn't get out of this one without some injuries worth following into the next week.